And here we go. First map is going to be Dry Arabia. With Capoch spawning in on the eastern side in the teal, playing as the Delhi. And then on the western side, we've got Snoopa playing as the Avacid. Not sure what strat he's going to be using for the rest of the game, but we shall see. Pretty good spawn sites though for both players. I think Snoopa's berries are a little bit in a safer position just because they're not in a forward position, but they're still relatively open. So I think both of them will run that risk of losing their berries. Otherwise, have both the golds at the back of their base. And pretty good wood lines as well. Actually, yeah, this is interesting. Yeah, both have pretty good wood lines. I always forget about the scale and in terms of, you know, what's going on with the scale for the mini map. Sometimes I think it's a lot closer than it is. Also, I'll put my time camera cover over this. Anyways, not too much happening. Both players have decided to go out with a single scout. Going to capture sheep. I mean, that's important, but like with a very dominant civs, you don't really have to work on that too much. I'm curious to see if Snoop is gonna pull some Avacid moves, like some TC blast off. Like, I don't know. We'll see if that actually is the answer in this matchup. But prediction is on for those of you watching on Twitch. There's a lot of opportunities to win points tonight, guys. Lots of opportunities to win points. Obviously, like, I feel like these civs aren't just like super aggro. Like, they can be aggressive, but they're not like super aggressive where they're gonna like push you out of feudal. I mean, I guess you could do a feudal push if you wanted, but generally I feel like both these civs shine closer to castle age, or at least when they get their specialized units, such as elephants. I mean, camels you can get in the feudal age, but they are really just like, it's a huge investment going in that. So I might see like a little bit of raiding going on in the next few minutes, but otherwise it looks like both players are set up to get into the next age right now. Not too much craziness happening, guys. It's all too quiet on the Dry Arabia map. And I hear the sound going off for Capoch. He'll be able to go up into the next stage. Not sure if he's going to choose to do so now. Yes, we'll be going up with the Dome of Faith. This is, oh, this is interesting. Capoch started aging up 5 seconds after they first could afford to. Interesting. Snoopa started aging up 0 seconds after they first could afford to. Those are really interesting little tidbits for the viewers. Snoopa has put quite a few villagers on wood, though, is trying to catch up. It is going to take him several minutes for this to, almost 2 minutes for him to get up to the next age, though. And I think Capoch knows this, so he's got 4 villagers going up at a really steady pace. He will get there sooner, but I mean, this is not a military production building. Snoopa does have to watch out for those scholars, though, because if too many are produced, it's like so annoying to deal with. You have to have ranged units to really take care of that because they just continue healing each other over and over again. So having that would be pretty interesting. Otherwise, it's very quiet. Snoopa bringing home the sheep. Has 5 sheep in tow and has sent 1 villager out to stone. 2 villagers out to stone right now. Oh no, that guy's gonna... Okay, cool. 3 villagers on stone, so we'll see that second TC. Probably gonna be able to get that place down just in time. Probably soon after he goes up. And I see Capoch has all of these research items queued up. Scholars, no military production buildings yet from either player. So playing pretty easy on the easier end of things. Snoopa is going down with the barracks first, so he'll be placing down the first military building. He has reached feudal age 30 seconds after Capoch. Wow, I kind of like these things because, like, obviously I can see the signs, see the time, but that's kind of cute. If it gets annoying for you guys, though, let me know. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions. Scout harassment coming from Capoch. Trying to get those villagers off the stone. That stone is going to be vital for getting his second TC. We know Snoopa is really great at getting TCs immediately, and it looks like he's almost on the way there. Sending 2 more villagers over there to that area. Look at how little damage, though, those hits do. It's like going down 2 health each time. So Snoopa does have time to get out one of the spears, and Cav is also coming out from Capoch right now. I do see a horse on the map, as well as a blacksmith placed down. So we've got a stable, a blacksmith from this deli player, and just a barracks down for Snoopa right now. He is sending spearmen to kind of some of the more vulnerable areas. He has gotten just enough to get a second TC, dropping it in that deer patch at the back side of his main base, offer a little bit more protection. Cav is making a charge, sees the spear and turns right around. It's like, nope, not gonna deal with that today. Is swinging around, and I think Snoopa has done a really good job of placing spears there to protect some of those open areas. Checking back on the base of Capoch, going down with a second blacksmith. This will allow him to do a little bit more research effectively, but we've also got a barracks down from Capoch as well. So it looks like possible spears will be coming out. He has gotten the upgrade, though, where he can place his scholars into his military buildings, so that'll be good for him to increase production. It looks like those horses are trying to do their best to get a little bit of raiding. Not going to be super successful, taking a bit of damage as Snoopa heads up into 2 TC land. But we do have a little bit of a military advantage in Capoch's side, so he has more horsemen, allow him to be a little bit more mobile, but it seems like he's going to try to secure up those sacred sites a little bit earlier. Yeah, and he's already has a wow, he already has a sacred site upgrade as well, so he's already grabbing the sacred sites with his scholar. Capoch is up to, let's see, is there a scholar count on here? Yeah, 5 scholars right now. Snoopa obviously is not working on that yet. Has to wait to go up to castle age, but he is dropping a 3rd TC, ladies and gentlemen. 3rd TC has 9 spears out on the map versus 17 military, which is horsemen and also spears out from Capoch. He is trying to get in to prevent this wall from getting up all the way. Spears making their way in. That scout is going to get surrounded by several of those horsemen, starts to run away. Scholar is doing a little bit of healing, but it looks like Snoopa is going to be successful in pushing them off that main area of the sacred site. Little bit of contact from both players in the center. Ooh, and 2 of the horses go down. 2 spears still alive for Capoch, and 2 spears and a scout loss for Snoopa right now. He is preventing the wall from going up just now, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to hold it off a time, especially when there's a pretty big group of spears from Capoch. So he's not going to be able to send out too much more military right now. Is really focused on eco. Is placing down another barracks and a archery range, so we'll see a little bit more diversity in his military composition. But I don't know if it's going to be in time to secure that sacred site. Also, all 3 sacred sites have been secured by Capoch, so that was probably around the 9-minute mark or so, maybe a little bit earlier. So we're going to have to wait for about 10 minutes until that goes off. All 3 of them are all 2. Let's see, this one's getting walled off. This north one is not walled off yet, so a scout could just be sent over there really quickly, and that could be decapped, but this will be giving extra gold income for Capoch. No further military units just yet. on Capoch's side, but we do see another group of spears out for Snoopa. Oh no, did he mean to do this? Okay, there you go. I was like, where's his farm? We need that berry influence. So farm is placed down. A pretty big group of horsemen are making their way across the map. They're gonna probably spot out this berry bush, but not in time, as those spears and a camel archer are over there. So I think they'll be able to, you know, this will debuff the cav. Their attack will be weaker. And then we've got the spears. Thank you guys for the follows. And a little bit of cav out for Snoopa as well. So more military production buildings. Those group of cav are trying to make their way into the main area of the base. Not able to get a successful raid here, but they'll probably spot this out. Not sure if they're going to go for that right now. There is a scout in the center forest. And Capoch is starting to age up to age 2. So I like that little note thing. Compound of the Defender is the choice. No surprises there with the deli. And we also has a market down for Capoch. Not sure if he's going to be using it for trading per se, but probably more to trade out. It looks like he traded out a few of his resources earlier. Snoopa is not ready to go up into the next age, but is stocking up on military, catching up with military numbers, heading in for that center sacred site. He has to be focused on decapping these sacred sites before they get too fortified. We are going to see elephants in a little bit, and a blacksmith finally gets placed down by Snoopa, so this will give him the defenses that he is missing. Oh, a little bit of a battle here on the front lines in front of that sacred site. That the scholars doing such a good job of healing up those spears. Camel archers staying in the stealth forest, doing a really good job of narrowing down towards those scholars, taking out one of them. Yeah, it looks like you got 1 or 2 of them just now. And spear to spear battle right now. Cav are circling around. Looks like they're going in for a raid. Sacred site will be decapped by 1 camel archer. And it looks like they're heading over to the northern side. And Snoopa is going up to age 3. Oh man, I'm not sure if he can see that. Snoopa! Oh my god, there's a perfect raid just north of him, and he is missing it right now because he doesn't have a scout with him. So he's unable to get that raid going, but he does decap the center sacred site and is pushing in on the south side of the base of Capoch. Doing a really good job of holding the line, trying to stay out of that TC fire as best as he can. It is a little bit difficult, but we do see the first elephant out on the map from Capoch. This is going to be a tower elephant, so they'll have some of that range. And it looks like Snoopa is pulling back. Did not notice this at all, but did go for a second raid. And takes out a couple villagers, I think. Did he take out a villager yet? No, he took out 1 villager on the way. Military is building back up for Capoch. He is doing a really good job of healing up the units that he does have, and villagers are out on the run. I don't know. Oh, they're going to do a forward keep drop, protecting the center sacred site. There are still 2 camel archers present in that area. And more military units out for Snoopa getting produced. So he's sitting at 28. This Capoch at 20, but that he's got a tower elephant, so I feel like that kind of makes it more difficult. One of those camel archers did get taken out on the northern sacred site, which is decapped, and that keep is definitely getting up. There are literally 18 villagers on that keep. I'm not sure if Snoopa's going to be doing the same. He only has 30 stone right now. He's really focused more on the 3 TC. He's really in the lead though in terms of villagers, 80 to 46, 50, so that's, what is that, 35 more villagers. A little bit of raiding on the northern side did take out a couple of the villagers from Snoopa, So Snoopa did lose that, and he does have a couple still stuck in the tower. Cav is just running around trying to get some raiding done, and there are 2 more houses getting placed down, so he is pop capped. Look at that, 72 to 111 right now, and the gap is just getting wider because of that Vil count really from Snoopa. Snoopa placing down a siege workshop now. Not sure if he's going to be going for trebuchets probably, because that's like kind of the only thing that he can't make out on the field. So he will probably be like just using a trebuchet to try to take out this center keep, because that's a pretty good access point to Capoch's base. A little bit of back and forth from these cav, and we've got camel archers at the back line to take a few of these out. And I think that raiding party is going to be cleaned up by Snoopa's military. Center Sacred Site is being recaptured. Northern one was recaptured as well. And it looks like the group of spears are going to the south side Sacred Site, trying to burn down that wall. And men-at-arms from Snoopa are out on the field doing a little bit of tag with this last... with this scholar. And also we have imams out too from Snoopa. So he's trying to play a little bit of countering towards this. I do see a stream of blue though. Forward keep drop is getting placed down on the eastern corner of Snoopa's base. That's just noticed by the TC. It's gonna be too late though. There are currently 18 villagers. Villagers on stone from Snoopa do get sniped out. They're gonna have to move somewhere else, and that keep is in a really inconvenient place, especially since those 2 farms were just placed down by Snoopa and not canceled. And we've got Lancers also. I didn't even notice that these have been upgraded to Lancers from Capoch. And he's taking the forward wood line just in time. The trebuchet gets built by Snoopa, so he'll be able to at least trebuchet this down or do his best. And I think on the other hand, Capoch is trying to counter this with the siege workshop, probably make a couple springballs in the meantime. Lancers are making their way out, trying to do some damage to this counterweight trebuchet. Not going to be able to do so though. Gets pulled back. Second tower elephant is out though for Capoch. And Snoopa is trying to build up a pretty big, massive military. The thing is that's difficult for him is he's trying to, he decapped the south side sacred site. He has to focus on the sacred sites and keeping his base safe, which is now compromised by this forward keep. There's a pretty big group of lancers out there patrolling for any potential raids, and these elephants have made it close enough to the main base to take out one of these barracks. Second trebuchet is not set up quite yet. Yeah, those villagers just keep getting pulled back and forth and repairing it, but he is gonna run out of stone. Like, Capoch will run out of stone if he doesn't mine anymore, because right now he's at 19 per minute, so I don't think he'll be able to do this. But Snoopa's base is infiltrated. He does have a pretty strong economy though, has moved several of his units towards the backside of his base. I am worried though about his food income if he's not careful, since he was pushed off the berries up on the northern front. No counter raids coming in just yet, but you do see a line of blue. Look at all these spears coming out from Capoch on this side. Snoopa going in for the choke point dive, trying to do a little bit more damage. There's like 3 scholars out on the map right now doing a lot of healing. Actually 4 scholars in this position. Also a trebuchet gets taken out for Capoch. I thought he was gonna go springall, but he goes treb. Insufficient stone did happen, so I think Capoch is gonna lose that forward keep. Has to be careful right now because Snoopa has so many villagers still. He's still sitting at 20 plus villagers, so he can build up his economy a little bit easier than possibly Capoch can. But Capoch is safe, very safe in his corner, is getting the insufficient stone notification once again. A couple of those hits from the trebuchets though, he'll probably take it out, but will it be in time to save his main TC? Not quite sure if that's going to be the option. We see crossbowmen also on the map from Snoopa's point of view, and I think that insufficient stone notification goes off again. Man, this keep is indestructible. I guess when you have 18 villagers repairing it as they go, that That's what keeps it alive. A second barracks. So we've lost 2 barracks and a stable and the main TC to a couple of those tower war elephants. Snoopa though is okay. He's got 2 more TCs on the backside of his base. Is sending out a 3rd trebuchet. It looks like he's doing a pretty good job of pushing Capoch back. And he'll probably be able to take out this TC with 3 of those trebuchets if he's careful. But man, it is taking forever for that thing to go down. Oh my gosh, like it's the indestructible keep. Indestructible keep for sure. Looks like there's a little bit of action going up on the northern side. Sacred Site's probably going to be recaptured by Capoch. Most of the battle is happening in this position though. Insufficient stone notification did go off once again. I don't know if Snoopa's ever going to get this keep down. It was on fire for a second. Lancers are making their way over around to the other side of the wood line. Ooh, and Snoopa is forced to pull back. He has no wood on this in this position, so he's going to have to go to the south side of the map, which is more exposed. And be careful not to lose any of those extra villagers because that gap is closing. We're at 80 villagers for Capoch, 95 for Snoopa right now. Insufficient stone goes off one more time and we finally lose that forward keep from Capoch, and he doesn't have a safety zone to hang out in. So several of those crossbows, it looks like they're focusing down those scholars, and that'll leave the elephants exposed. Snoopa did a really good job of defending his base right there. He did have quite a bit of idle time trying to move back some of those villagers from what he wanted them to do, but I think he's going to recover okay. Looks like he's trying to rebuild the rest of his House of Wisdom, and then I expect he'll go try to rebuild his TC. Crossbowmen are pushing forward, trying to wipe out some of those Lancers. And then I think Capoch is going to have to pull back towards his base or towards this one keep that he does have on the map and hide his trebuchets there, because those trebuchets are just taking a really slow walk out in the open. Yeah, and it looks like Snoopa doesn't have any of those like faster units, so these guys are allowed to get away just a little bit more, but they're going to hide in the safety of that keep. Snoopa is recovering now. He's sitting at 103 vills. Capoch is still at 90 at the moment. And Snoopa looks like he's starting to get enough res to head up into the Imperial Age if he wanted to. He's sitting at a military of 51, has a greater amount of military units than Capoch does, but he's bringing his trebs over here to hide out and at least take out this last keep. There's a little bit of raiding on the backside by 1 Lancer, but nothing significant. More reinforcements coming in from Capoch, but will he have enough to stand up against Snoopa? It's like the battle of the 3 trebuchets. 3 trebuchets versus the world. This is really bad for Capoch though, because you see this counterweight trebuchet freaking out. It doesn't have any room to set up, so it needs to be pulled back. Otherwise, it's just stuck there. It's not going to do anything. So Trebs for Trebs. Actually, if Snoopa's not careful, he is going to lose that trebuchet. Luckily, he is repairing it with 1 villager, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Yeah, and that one villager was not enough. You need to send more than 1 over there, and so I think he's got to be careful though, pulling back. He's sending his military just a little bit too early, trying to take out several of those villager units though, to try to give him the advantage in taking out this keep, but he is losing like a unit per 3 seconds or so, so I'm not sure if it's worth it. He's got to wait for 1 more hit from those double trebuchets. Another 3 elephants are out here on the map. It took a while for Snoopa to take them all out, so I'm not sure if he'll be able to do that again. We are still at, oh my gosh, never-ending story of this keep. Forever alive keep. Double trebuchets go off 1 more time. Will this be enough? No, not yet. Snoopa is cutting back his military back and forth right now. Does not have his mangonel set up quite yet. Military is trying to take out some of those villagers, get them off repairing the keep, because he knows that's the only way to get that keep down. He could build up some cav, kind of send them around and at least do a little bit more raiding, just because this gold is really exposed. This stone is exposed. They're just like really good opportunities for raiding on Capoch's base. But I know he's trying to focus this down and take it out because it is a area to like meet in. Snoopa hasn't decided to age up yet, obviously, and is going with the more military production route. Has sitting at 54 units. Capoch is still at 28 or so. Keep does finally goes down, and there is a push towards the base of Capoch. He's trying to build another keep. This must be pretty frustrating for Snoopa. Has to be careful though, because those camel archers are dead center and are exposed. I wonder if he's gonna pull that guy back. Yeah, did lose one of them, pulled back the other. And scholars are doing a really good job of healing as they go. So we've got 6 scholars just from Capoch, doing a little bit more raiding too on the northern side of Snoopa's base, trying to keep him a little bit distracted. And another group of Lancers are heading down to the south side of the base. I don't know if they're gonna be able to spot out this little gold mine, but Snoopa did wall off pretty much the whole side of the map, and they do spot it out, it looks like, and they're heading over for that raid. Yeah, and they'll be taking out several of those villagers if Snoopa isn't paying attention. Central sacred site is being neutralized, and I see another group of, oh man, all those villagers getting taken out. Another group of vills going up to the northern side of the map, building up a keep. Probably going to be going for this gold. I'm not really sure what they're doing, but on the front lines, we see Snoopa with a big group of military. So he's going for the push, dead center, while Snoopa's kind of going around doing a couple of these smaller raids and trying to do damage to Snoopa's eco. Snoopa has to be careful and notice this, because that was a lot of gold income for him. Wow, 3 mangonels at the front line doing damage to these farms. 3 tower elephants and 1 war elephant are trying to round the corner. It looks like they're trying to bait Snoopa into underneath this keep at least. And that second TC is going to get taken out. I don't know if those villagers are going to get pulled and repair it over and over again, but we'll see. Capoch is down to a military of 36. Snoopa is up to a military of 37. Has to be careful though not to lose any extra villagers, or he's not going to be able to keep up that military production. But I think he's doing a really good job. He's setting some spears out there. I wish he kept 2 back here, because they're still killing villagers. They're still killing villagers. Snoopa is saving up quite a bit of resources though, so it looks like he's going to go Imperial. I think Capoch is doing the same as well. He's hovering around at 877, and his gold isn't going down, or his food. Mangonel's still taking out several of those farms. And the second Lancer gets taken out, and there's just a chase going on through the base of Snoopa. Northern Sacred Site is going to be decapped by one of those camel archers. And Snoopa is now very much into the base of Capoch. Has to watch out though for this military up on the northern side. There's another elephant going up over to that corner. So we are sitting at 6 elephants. If you're not careful, those are gonna be hard to take out, especially with those scholars. You gotta take out those scholars first, and then you can go and take out the rest of the elephants, just because they won't be healing. He does lose a couple of the relic income that he did have in the temple to Snoopa trebuchets. And it looks like the elephants are going to try to swing around and flank possibly in the future. Not sure if that's really in the plan. Lancers fighting over on this side. Snoopa is going up to H4 right now. We're gonna see some Imperial units out, just some of those stronger upgrades. Capoch is still not ready to go up to the next age. Snoopa is sitting at a military of 98, and it's gonna be a little bit of back and forth from both players. Tower War elephants are making a push. He has to be careful to protect protect his siege. Mangonel gets one hit off. I thought there was two. Yeah, there's 3 mangonels. So 2 of the mangonels doing a really good job taking out some of those weaker units, especially the spears. Scholars are still all alive. So I think Snoopa is focusing down the scholars right now. He's pulling them back. Little bit of charge off from the elephant, pulling back the siege. Ooh, mangonels also making their way out from Capoch. Oh, get a really strong hit off on, oh God, move them back, move them back. Snoopa is getting pushed back. Doesn't have a lot of reinforcements so far on their way. They're actually just now making it. And I don't know if he's going to go up with a keep anytime soon. Second trebuchet did get taken out. No more siege units for Snoopa. Snoopa down to a military of 53, and Capoch is now at 43. Oh, last mangonel goes down. Snoopa pulling back his army, trying to gather up in a centered area, going up with a keep as well. I feel like this is a lot of pushback back and forth. I love this type of matchup, especially with these 2 civs. It's really, I think, going to come down to a lot of the siege choices that these players make. Just because units are similar in the sense that they do have tankier units. Has to be careful though. What happened? Oh, I thought there was like a weird glitch. I thought there was like 4 elephants and it disappeared. Springald is out on the map. Be careful of the Springald. A couple of the Springals are being built in the base of Snoopa, so he'll probably be trying to take out those mangonels. I think they can shoot through, they can definitely shoot through palisade walls. So one of those mangonels gets taken out, and 2 is about to get taken out, and 3. Snoopa is back up to a military of 72. Capoch was still sitting at 50, is not up into age 4. All of those upgrades probably came through or are coming through for Snoopa. I don't want to miss this battle though, and we can check on it later. Spear's doing a really good job holding the line, trying to push over towards those trebuchets. He has to have villagers over there to repair it, otherwise this looks like this keep is going down. He did get to turn, I don't know, is he gonna have villagers over there? Okay, he does have villagers over there, so it's actually gonna survive that. I thought they would get another hit off on the keep. They did not. They decided to play it safe, turn around, so Capoch is getting pushed back into his base once more. Not able to go up into Imperial. Gonna check in on the upgrades from Snoopa. Look at all these military production buildings he's got too. So let's check on this. So he doesn't have necessarily all of these crazy ones. Camel handling isn't chosen, but oh, also boot camp isn't in there yet. So he hasn't gotten all of his military upgrades. Not too big of a deal though just yet, because Capoch is still in castle age. Oh, 5 trebuchets are out too. I don't think they're gonna work quite as well as possible mangonels, but Snoopa is walking straight into that mangonel. Does take it out, but he is losing a lot of his units. I don't know if he cares though, just because it looks like he has the economy to back it up. He's got 117 villagers safe and sound in the base. Up on the northern side of the map though, Capoch does have a pretty good size proxy base of villagers. 5 trebs. Okay, so you've got to deal with 5 trebs, 2 tower elephants, a Springald, and a mangonel. So I think what Snoopa needs is just a lot of Springalds or some cab to run in, dive, and take them out. So he does have 2 Springalds right here. Has to be careful though. He's not going to lose this one. It's got 4 health right now. That is lost completely. Spear's coming back out. It's like spear versus spear. Spear versus spear. Capoch is still in castle age though. Snoopa hasn't truly taken advantage yet of all the upgrades. I think he's actually started to queue them up just now. So he'll be getting some of those unique upgrades that are special to the Abbasid dynasty and that are important, especially in Imperial Age. More men at arms out on the map. I do wish there were a little bit more of those tankier units just for his sake. Capoch is doing a really good job of keeping all of his units underneath this keep. This keep is doing work. And also a culverin. A culverin, which I think he's almost got the resources for. If Snoopa could get a culverin out on the map too, that would be ideal. I'm not sure if he quite has enough vision though. That's also something that you have to think about, is there's not quite vision for him just yet. I like how these trebuchets go off to try to kill like these 3 military units. Springald's at the back trying to do damage to a couple of these men-at-arms. Man, those men-at-arms are tanky. Another push for a group of 24 from Snoopa's side is heading in to try to torch down some of these military production buildings and face head on. He has to be careful. All of these emplacements, he's got boiling oil is finally coming through for Capoch. That would have been helpful a little bit earlier, but you know, it's expensive. And the Springald placement is there too. So we've got that keep is just doing a lot of damage to the types of units that Snoopa is sending in. He really needs to get pulled back just a little bit or build a keep on his end, or like over at this entry point, just so that he can stop losing those units. But I know later in the game, it does get a little bit frustrating to go back and forth. A little bit of raiding also happening from these men-at-arms on the base of Capoch. Oh, not building a keep in a defensive position, but building a sneaky keep. We've got a sneaky keep. Lots of keeps this game. So this is a really good position. This will take out all of those farms on this area, and most of the distraction is happening out here on the front lines. I will say that Snoopa still has a really strong eco backing it. He's going to be able to send out a lot more siege. The keep does get up and starts going off. All the villagers from Capoch get pulled off those farms. And that second farm is getting torched. Oh, and the temple was torched, or the university, not university, yeah. Scholar's Temple, and a couple of those relics are out too, so Capoch does not have the income that he once did. Is trying to push Snoopa back into the base. Snoopa up to a military of 51-61 for Capoch, and that's what I was saying. I think there just needs to be more units flooding out, and I think that's what Snoopa is doing right now. He's almost at population capacity right now, sitting at 190 out of 200, whereas Capoch is at 133, down to a villager grouping of 69/70 or so, whereas Snoopa is sitting at a military or a villager count of 128. He does have 19 villagers sleeping. Okay, they started working though, and those 5 trebuchets are doing work on those military production buildings. I think Snoopa's gonna try to set off those guys. He does have Springles at the front line, so they're gonna be able to take those out, but several of those military units are rushing in a little bit too far, and this mangonel is waiting for them. One of them got taken out. I think a second one can get taken out. They just need to, they don't have vision. Okay, second one got taken out. We were down to 3 trebuchets. Oh, one of the elephants also gets taken out. Down to a military of 36 for Capoch. Will this be the push that Snoopa needs to win this game? Not sure. Mangonel gets taken out. 2 more trebuchets are left. Capoch does not have the income, the gold income right now, to build anything else. Keep is going off towards the units of Snoopa though. But look at Snoopa's gold income. It's just a little bit higher, actually a lot of it higher than Capoch's right now, who's sitting at 0 and can't afford to build any of those siege. And we get the tap out from Capoch. The win goes to, for game 1, to Snoopa.